And there's a very interesting event that is not in the Torah. It's alluded to. It's alluded to. We go all the way to the end of Breshit, and Yaakov is on his deathbed, and he makes a reference to his bow that he used against the Amorite. And I've mentioned this before, and you have to kind of scratch your head and say, well, where did we read in the Torah that Yaakov used his bow against the Amorite? And if you go to sources like Mam Loez, which if our audience is not familiar with, they should try to get a copy of if they don't, it's an 18-volume commentary on the Torah.
You're referring to Rabbi Aryeh Kaplan's classic translation, and he called it the Torah Anthology. Anthology,
and it's also called Me'am Loez. It was originally written in Ladino, and in the 17th century, I believe, and it is full of explanations and insight into the events that are laid out in the Torah. And it's even in one of my favorite sources. It's in Mam Loez, it's in Sefer Yashar, that just before the events of this week's Parsha, Vayeshev, where Joseph comes fully onto the scene, and this idea that he's a dreamer and that his brothers are very angry with him, and they throw him into a well, and he's sold it. Before all of that, about 2 years before that, there is this great battle that takes place between Yaakov and his sons and the Amorite, the Canaanite nations. And they come against the sons because they have come back up to pasture near Shechem. And of course, Shechem is where the famous, infamous battle took place originally, when Shimon and Levi took on the city and basically, it was a rout. It wasn't even a battle. They took over because of the rape of their sister Dinah. So they come back to the area, and all of the people in the region say, those troublesome guys, those sons of Jacob are back. They're going to start war with us again. And they, unprovoked, they attack Yaakov and his family. And the battle is an amazing thing to read. And it goes on for pages in Sefer HaYashar. And what's quite unique is the fact that Yaakov is 105 years of age, and he takes up his bow against these Amorite nations. And guess how long the battle is? It ends after 6 days. So it's like a hint of a 6-day war in the future. Wow. And so this is not mentioned in the Torah, but it answers if you have the question of what Yaakov is talking about taking up his bow against the Amorite. This all unfolded right before the events of this week's Parsha, when the 17-year-old son comes and says, I've had a few dreams I want to tell you about.